Hey you guys, so I'm going to show you today how to create your own Facebook group. I'm running a free group this next week, and so I'm going to literally start from scratch and show you what I do. I'm just going to share my screen with you, and then I can show you the steps I take. This is in Canva. This is the image I created just a few minutes ago, which is hopefully going to load up into the Facebook group header nicely. Sometimes it doesn't, and I need to tweak it, but fingers crossed it will. So let's go into Firefox and into Facebook. So I'm on my home page at the moment, okay? And if you see at the top here, next to my home tab, hey Jerry, he's an actor. Press create, and we want to create a group. I'm creating it in my own public newsfeed. In my own page, in my own timeline, not my like page, which is different. So just because if it's in my own timeline, then people don't have to have liked my like page, which is those people who've liked my like page are way fewer than the people in my normal timeline, in my public profile. So it just makes sense. I tend to just run them in my public profile. Some coaches do run the groups in their like page in order to get more likes for their like page, because obviously people that join the group then have to like the like page in order to get into the group. For the moment, I'm just using a tactic to keep it really simple and easy, and I run it on my own timeline. So my name of my group, sometimes you have to be a bit creative because obviously there's a lot of groups out there with similar kinds of names. So I'm going to try, what was I calling it on social media? I think it's just like the self-love optimal health group. We'll see if that is permissible. It seems fine. Right, add some people. You always have to add a person in order to start to create a group. So I always use my sister, bless her, Naomi, and it does give you suggested people. I'm not going to worry about any of that right now. It's a closed group, so that means only members who are in the group can actually see what is posted. But people searching for a self-love group on Facebook would find it. So it's best to have it closed rather than private. Private is hidden. So even if people search for the self-love optimal health group, it won't show up unless they've been given the link to it and they've been added to it already. A closed group is the best way to run a group for our Beachbody business. I would pin it to shortcuts, but I've probably got too many groups already in my shortcuts, so I think I'm about to get a warning message. Yeah, only 10 pinned groups is allowed, so it doesn't matter. I'll just make a link to it. I should get rid of some of my shortcuts, but anyway. So we're going to press create. Give it a second or two. So right now I'm going to choose the photograph, which is the one that I have just created. With a bit of luck, it will fit in that box okay. If not, what I'll do is I'll go and tweak it. No, I need to go into my, let me just go into my downline. I don't want to do any of this. Oh, it shouldn't have to be from my photos. Maybe here we go, upload photo. Here we go. Go to downloads, and where is it? There we go. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, the bit in the middle is a bit bigger than I wanted it to be. That is absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. That's cool. Right. So I think we'll press save for that. Yay! First step's done. Right, now I want to make, what we'll do now is you're going to go into more and we're going to adjust some of the settings. So edit group settings. So we've got the name Self-Love Optimal Health Group. I tend to always pick the apple as my icon because it just makes finding my groups easy and fast. Pick a group type. Going to be a social learning group because it means then that we get the units as part of our group. If you don't choose social learning, you won't get access to the units. And the units are just a really useful way of maintaining all the sort of like relevant information in one spot rather than it being you know, them popping up within the discussion thread, which eventually, if you're running a large group, if you've got a lot of people interacting, it gets very, very haphazard. And particularly in Facebook groups, Facebook doesn't post the discussion, the post chronologically. It all gets a bit messed up. So it's better to have all your sort of important information put into units. So we're going to social learning and confirm that. Description, I haven't typed out as description yet, but welcome to my self-love optimal. Oops. Health group, and then I'll put a bit more in there as time goes on. I'm not going to bother about the location. I could put from the comfort of your own home, from the comfort of your own home. Oh, my typing's terrible today. It might add, I might do tags. I'm not going to bother with that. Link your page. I will link my like page. So there we go. And link page. So it means that if people want to sort of learn a bit more about me, then they can do it. That the linked page is showing the about section here. It's just a quick and easy way for people to explore a bit more about you. And customize address, right? Normally when I go into customize address, it forgets all the settings I've put up here. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, click save. So at least it will save the settings I've already added so far. And then we will go back in again and we'll continue to change the settings. So we go into more, edit group settings. Okay. Customize address. A lot of coaches don't bother. I like to customize the address. It takes two seconds, and it means then if people are looking for it, it's much easier for them to find it. Self-love optimal health group. Yep, cool. So now you can see at the top here. So facebook.com groups/self-love optimal health group. If I hadn't customized the address, then that would just be a series of numbers, and so there's obviously it would give you the title here, but unless somebody actually either pins the group to their shortcuts or they copy and paste the group URL, which a lot of people won't even think about doing, it's going to be really hard for them to find the right group. But at least if they know it's like self-love optimal health, they stand you know, a much more of a chance of finding the group. So just because people are busy and people don't take a note of the URL. So I'm going to, it's a closed group, that's fine, I'm going to leave that like that. Social learning units, that's fine. Membership approval, anyone in this group. Chat creation permissions, yeah, members, not moderators, and non-paid admins can create chats. Membership pre-approvals, I'm not going to bother with that. Membership requests. Sometimes I add questions, particularly if it's if it's a premium challenge group. With a free group, I've actually created an application form which people fill in, so I get all their details anyway in the application form, and that also asks for their goals and struggles. So I'm not going to bother asking questions this time round. But if I hadn't done an application form, I would probably ask something like, what are your struggles? What are your goals? What is easier for you, losing weight or getting fit? You know, and see what they reply. You can get a really good idea of, you know, where people are at just by adding a few questions to the beginning, and they have to answer those questions before you then allow them into the group, to approve them into the group. Posting permissions, anyone in the group, because otherwise every post that they write has to be then approved, which makes an awful lot of work for you as the coach. If anybody ever adds something which is against the ethos of the group, I'll just remove that person from the group itself. So I've never had anybody do it, but if I did need to, I would just remove them if I saw something being posted that wasn't relevant, you know, wasn't appropriate, or if it was just something that they posted that they just made a mistake. I'd, you know, just message them privately and get that clarified and get that post removed, which you can easily do. Membership requests on pages, just going up one. Allow pages to request to join as group members. Yeah, I can't see why I wouldn't do that. All group posts must be approved by an admin or a moderator. No, I'm not going to worry about that being approved. Like I said just then, if the worst comes to the worst and somebody posts something that's bad, I'll just remove it. Anyone in the group can post. And story post approval. Photos and videos added to the group. No, I'm not going to worry about that either. So I'm going to click save. And technically, we now have a group. So what I would need to do next is go into units, and I will, look, if you come down here, there's no units created already, and I will make the, okay, you have the option here, make the units the default landing tab instead of discussion. Not in this case. In a large, if it was more of a tutorial group, I would have people arrive on the units first, because then it, you know, it might be that they have a new lesson every day. Because this is much more of a social event, I'm going to leave it to be the discussion. And there is also the option, once you've posted, put your sort of morning post up. In this group in particular, I'll be doing a fitness related post in the morning, and then in the afternoon I'll be doing something surrounding self-love and looking after ourselves. So when I've posted my post in the morning, I'll make sure to pin it to the top. I'll mark it as an announcement, and then I will pin it to the top of the page, which means that when people come to the group, that is the first post that they see. As a sort of, just as a housekeeping kind of thing, once that post has been up for a while and you're posting your second post of the day, you want to remove the first announcement that you had. Otherwise you just end up with a load of announcements, and for new people coming into the group it can be kind of confusing. It's better ideally just to maybe have the getting started right post pinned, and then just the and as an announcement, and then your daily posts as you add them, make sure to mark them as an announcement, remove the previous post that was an announcement, and maybe pin your new announcement to the top. If there's any confusion around that, just ask me. It's a lot easier when you actually put it into practice. I haven't created any posts for this page yet, so I haven't actually got anything I could technically show you. But what I am going to do is, I've got the Clean Lean Machine group I ran, was a free group I ran a few months ago. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open up another Facebook tab, and I'm going to go into my Clean Lean Machine group, and I'll just show you how to add your initial post as an announcement, because this is going to, a lot of the information, the sort of the more documented type, you know, getting started right information is in here. So I might as well, it's silly me typing the whole stuff out all over again. So here we go. These are previous free groups that I've run. So this actually helps to show the units. With this particular group, this is where I've run several free groups in the past. And so each unit is dedicated to its own group, okay? And then, like you can see there, there's 30 more units in my Lose the Belly Bloat Clean Eating Challenge group. And I number my posts, my daily posts, so it helps people stay on top of, you know, just follows a chronological order, which is easy for people to read and understand and find the information that they need. This one, the Clean Lean Machine Week, is one of my more recent groups. So here, what I'm going to do, the Clean Week Quick Start Guide, because that has got masses of information in it, I'm going to just, okay, that's the PDF. I've probably got that in my, I've actually got that all in one of my files. So what I will do is, what I'll do is I'll just download that again now. Save. And then I can just upload that from my downloads back into the Self-Love Optimal Health group. So what we'll do now is we will add, where am I? No, sorry, create a unit. So I'm going to call this unit Getting Started Right, and this will have all the meal plans, the recipes, and anything that's sort of information based for the group will go in here. You can make the unit optional. I tend not to click the check this box at all. Everything that I add into the groups, generally I want to make sure that people read. And that's it. So if you're like, if it's more of a tutorials type group, you want them to make sure they've done lesson 1 before you move them on to lesson 2, you would want to make sure that the unit is not optional, because there you can actually see people's progress through the unit. So if say they've got to learn how to, I don't know, invite to a challenge group before they run a challenge group, you want to make sure that they've completed, you can tell, you can see who has completed that particular task before they move on to the next one. So if somebody comes to you and says, I haven't got the foggiest idea about challenge groups, you told me to run one now and I don't know what I'm doing, you can go back and you can see that they never completed the learning section for the challenge groups in any case. So just a way of staying on top of, tracking what your coaches and your customers are doing. But anyway, for this instance, we'll leave that unchecked. So press create unit. And that will pop up in a second. Right, now because we're going to be uploading a PDF, so I don't really need to, I don't need to write a big post because the PDF is the post, but I'm going to write here, make sure to read this, getting started, right, guide. And then I'm going to click here, add file. And then that will be in, here we go, choose file. That will be in my downloads, Clean Week Quick Start Guide. That's uploaded now, and I can literally just post that there. If I wanted to schedule the post, you see the little clock there? I could click that and schedule when I wanted that to be posted. When I'm running free groups, I do tend to post my early morning post, schedule my early morning posts, because that way at least I know if we're running late for school, or if something crazy happens, or if for whatever reason I've worked till like 3 a.m. in the morning and I really don't want to be up at 6 or 5:30 to post, I just make sure I've scheduled the post, and then at least I know that the group is running smoothly. In an ideal world, I would schedule the first post of each day, and then I quite like the flexibility of going in and seeing how people are responding to the first post, and then crafting my second post depending on what's come up through the day for people. You can schedule every single post that you want, but I like the interactivity of obviously going in and sort of catching up with people before I post my second post. I just think it makes the group more interactive and more fun and more conversational. And also, as the coach that's running the group, I think it's really important that I'm in there and communicating with the people who are taking the time to join the group and be part of it too. And I want to make sure I'm serving them correctly, because even though it's a free group, it's time is worth something, and if people are in the group, it's often because they do need help with an aspect of either their health, their fitness. There's something there that they're looking for support for. It might be community and friendship. So it's really important that when you run a group that you commit to it. Free groups, I think, do take up quite a lot of time, but they're good fun, and they're also a great way for people to get to build trust within you as a coach. Because if you just send out an invite to somebody and you say, hey, it might be the best group on the planet, it might be ticking every single box. Yeah, you can guarantee they're going to look like this, you can guarantee they're going to lose the weight they want to lose, you can guarantee this, that and the other. But if those people don't know you and don't know how you work, no matter how much that product or that group is going to help them, they have no way of having any trust in you. So free groups are just a really, really effective and fun way of allowing people into your environment without the pressure of trying to sell anything to them. It's easier for you as a coach, and it's the right thing as far as potential customers goes, in my opinion anyway. I didn't run a free group around Christmas time just because I actually wanted to enjoy Christmas a bit myself, and they are, like I said, very time intensive. But I think the ideal goal is to run a free group every month, and I run my free group the week before I launch my challenge group. So if somebody wants to, while I've got those people in the free group, if they want to then, if they've realised the value that we offer, and they realise how cool our products are, then it's an easy step for them to say, right, I'm in, show me how to sign up, and I want to do this. So, and for those that don't, well then next time I run a free group, I invite them all back again to join my next free group. Some will, some won't. But it's just a great way of establishing trust and getting to know your potential coaches and your potential challengers that much better. So, so you can see now, well, in my unit 1, I've got one PDF that I've uploaded. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just go and load up another one. So the meal plan prep guide, I'll just download it to my downloads folder, and then it'll be just quick and easy to upload rather than go through all my documents on online, which could take a rather long time. So okay, this my typing today, I think my keyboard must be in a funny position. This is the meal plan prep guide. Make sure to read this through as 80% of your... Okay. I'm not allowed to write much about it. Oh, hang on a second. Why is that? What did that say there behind it? What would you like to say about this? I'm going to write it there. I think that was probably my title. I'm not reading it properly. Meal plan prep guide. Prep guide. I really don't know what's going on with my my words today. Here we go. Meal plan prep guide. Actually, I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm blaming it on the lack of sleep. Press post, and you'll see now. And I'm going to show you how then in the units, because I want people to I want them to read the quick start guide first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to juggle those around, because now, because I've posted this second, so that when you go into the units, let's see, it will show you that the meal plan prep guide is above the quick start guide, but I want them to be the other way around. So if I had more units, you'd have unit 2 and unit 3 and unit 4 down here. What you do, just to change the settings, is literally you click those 3 little buttons at the top, edit unit. And now I'm going to just move that up there, drag that up there, and save. And that's what I would do. So every time I upload something new into the unit section, I always go into edit the unit and make sure that the most important or the most timely important document is right at the top. So discussion, you will also see in the discussion thread that these, although the discussion isn't really open yet, these have been posted in there. And then I'll just show you the announcement. So for instance, Clean Week, this is the one I want people to see straight away when they land on the page. So what I will do is this little arrow here that you can see, click that, and you want to click mark as announcement. And now that has become an announcement, see up here, it's listed as an announcement. You can click that, and you can also pin it to the top, which means that no matter how many other posts are in the group, that will always stay at the top until you unpin it. Announcements, you can have several announcements, and the most recent announcement that you create is the one that will be at the top. So those do position themselves chronologically, but when you pin something to the top, that will be always at the very top of the page. So I could add another 8 posts now. They could all be announcements, and the Clean Week Quick Start Guide will always be at the top. The other announcements I add will all go in chronological order, so the most recent will be on the top. And then if I want to unpin it from the top, because this only needs to be on the top for a couple of days, you just put either remove announcement or unpin from the top, and doing both of those will take it away. And so unpin from the top. And another quick way to see your announcements is just to click your announcements here on the left hand side, and that will show you everything that you've got there as an announcement. So there's my unit 1. I've only created 1 announcement. If I put my meal plan prep guide as an announcement too, that would have shown up when I went into my announcements. So I hope that makes sense. And then daily, what I would do, say if I wanted to, so I'll show you how to schedule a post too. So I'm literally just going to type some gobbledygook, and we'll pretend this is like high value and it's amazing, and you know, like all my groups are. And then you would add a photo or an image to it. So click that, and then you just upload something. So this is an image I created for my social media yesterday. So wait for the image to upload, okay? And then you'll go down here to schedule post, and then you'll just choose your date, say tomorrow at 2:43 p.m. I should know UTC. I can't remember what UTC something time. As a pilot, I should know that. So I hope none of my pilot friends are watching that. UTC standard time. Anyway, it's kind of like the base level time. I'm gambling, so it doesn't matter. Just put that. It's your local time basically. So 2:43 p.m. will go at 2:43 p.m. here tomorrow. So schedule that. And that's it. It's a scheduled post. And all of your scheduled posts, so like if I write another one now, I'm just going to just do the same again. And then I'm not going to bother adding a photo this time because you've seen how I do that already. I'm going to schedule that one to go also tomorrow, but at 3. You just basically you click on the bit you want to change and 58 p.m. Schedule that. That will now schedule that. And then, so here you can see at the top of your discussion feed, you've got your 2 posts that are scheduled for tomorrow. And if you want to change them, or if you've forgotten what you've scheduled and what you scheduled first, you can go into here and you can just go through them. So it will say tomorrow at 2:43, tomorrow at 3:58. If you wanted to edit it, if you want to reschedule it, you just click this little button here and you can reschedule the post, you can edit the post, you can delete the post, you can post it now, or you can add it to a new unit. So for instance, if I thought, wow, this is really important stuff, I don't want it to be in the getting started right unit, I'm going to put it into unit 2. So it will automatically call this unit 2 because it's the second unit you're creating. So I could put really important stuff. Oh, post title, we start Monday. Have to give it a post title. Create unit, and that will show up. Cool. So when you go into units now, you've got unit 1, which is getting started right, and unit 2 is really important stuff. And because, oops, get rid of that. That is scheduled. Oh, it has shown up, even though it was scheduled for tomorrow. So when you add it to one of your units, it is going to fit into your units. It'll appear in your units, but it won't appear in the discussion thread until when it's actually been scheduled to go, if that makes sense. So I hope that has helped. If you want to upload, another thing I do actually sometimes, so your files section, so you've got the meal plan prep guide and the clean week start guide, quick start guide, we made into units. Because they've been uploaded as files, they're also held in your files library. So I could still upload a file now, which didn't belong, I don't assign it to a unit. So if there's something else, I wanted to upload, but not within a unit, I could just browse here, find the thing I wanted to upload. Quick look. Ketosis cookbooks. There you go. Just quickly, and you press save, and that will now upload into this file section. It might be taking a while actually to load that up because it's got quite a lot of information in it. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so there it appears, but that's not assigned to a unit. I've just added it as a file. If you wanted to create a document, which is slightly different, you actually create it within the unit section. So you click to drag a photo there. Let's see what I've got. I really hope there aren't any embarrassing photos that are going to pop up. No, phew, lucky. I don't know, I'll just quickly click that. It only takes a very narrow image. That's useful. Pop that there. I kind of ignore those warnings because often it does work. It's just the way Facebook's just being a bit glitchy. So, well, okay, so healthy food hacks. Every now and again, I add a new healthy food hack tip to my social media. So it could be that I could go through, you know, healthy food hack number 1, use black beans instead of flower. That was one of my first ones. And I could, you know, go and do blah, 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 blah. If I wanted to add to this, get rid of that person. So when I'm over here, so I've clicked to activate this sentence. You can see here, there's that plus. That means I can actually add a photograph, or I can embed a web link. So for instance, let's add a photo. Just want to show you how this works, because come on. Why is he doing this? Let's try that one. Okay. It might be because that's right near the top. What were they going to do? Add a photo. Oh, I'll take one of my bum. I did that the other day just to show quite how good my latest workout program is, because that bum's 48 years old and I'm quite impressed with it. I didn't kind of mean to put that one on there, but anyway. And so that has appeared underneath, obviously, that there, that title there. If I wanted to add and embed a video here, so what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to make, because pretend this is like a title. Now I'm going to embed, so I'm going to go over that, click embed, and I would need to type in a URL. I'm just trying to think what I've got that I could use. Let's have a little look. If I go into my YouTube quickly, I'll go and find one of my videos. I need to move myself out of the corner here. If I just find one of my shorter one, my quick videos. Which one? That was quite big. 6 minutes, fine. I'll upload that one. So what I'm going to do, I've clicked on my video. I will take the URL up here. So you want to copy the URL up here. And then you want to go back to your document and you want to paste the URL in there. And then click insert. And voila! It's just, there I am again, all over this document. And then you make sure that I always uncheck that, allow group members to edit the document, just because somebody might delete something by accident. And, you know, documents, they can be amazing. A document, I tend to use documents in my groups as like a sales page, because you've got so much variation with what you can do with the document. Also, just one extra thing I want to show you. If I typed here and I wanted to change that type, what I do is I would, so rather than going to the clicking the plus, if I click that there, it gives me options to change it to a large heading, to a smaller heading. I can do bullet points, numbers, speech marks, and that is a link. So if I wanted to create a hyperlink instead of embedding a video, what I would do is I would block that like I have. I can either go in here, oops, and click that, or, oh, hang on, no, what's that? Sorry, I've got that one wrong. What's that one? That sends it into, that takes all the formatting out of the text, and it's put it into like this little box here. So it's almost like a highlighted box. I never knew that happened. Or let's highlight that, and see, you learn something new every day. That is the link, that's the hyperlink. So what I do is click that, I paste the URL into it again, and now that would be blue. And so if I click that, it will go straight through to that video as well. So it might be that you don't want to actually have the video like this one on the page, on the document. You just want to create a hyperlink, and so people can access it that way. So that's it. And then you would press publish. And now that will come up in our self-love group, but thankfully nobody's in it yet, so they won't get all that stuff I've just posted, because I'm about to delete it again. So there's my document. I can click on that, and it will go into the document. So anybody reading the document would say, oh yeah, there she is. I can come out of it just by clicking away from it. If I want to add it to a unit, it might be really important, and I want to add it to a unit I've already created, then I could add it to say really important stuff. I'll give it a title, Kate's bum pick. Add to unit. And then you'll see in unit 2, let's go into my units, sorry, unit 2, I want to edit the unit because I don't want my bum pick coming on the top. So edit this unit, and I'm going to push my bum pick down underneath. We start on Monday. Okay, click save, and that rejigs where that that document that I've just created appears in Unit 2 of very important stuff. I will also show you how to delete the document, which is pretty easy, and thank goodness I can delete it. Just click that and delete the document, and it will ask you if you're sure, and I'm definitely sure. And now that will go. Ta-da! So that's it. And when so now sort of the work of the group has been created. Now the important thing is then that you obviously fill it with really amazing stuff and some really cool images, and you might go live. If you want to go live in the group, you actually have to go live on your phone. You can't, the desktop Facebook doesn't have the option to do Facebook Live directly onto it. I don't think. I think that you might be able to do an app. You download an app that possibly does it on Mac computers, Apple computers, but not with Android and the laptop that I've got. So I would then I do my Facebook Live on my phone and then just upload it into this group. Go into this group on my phone and then do my Facebook Live. You see here it says live video. Let's just press. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's, please. Okay. Please try broadcasting the latest desktop version of Chrome. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So I think maybe there is an availability to do it. I don't think my computer does it because I think I've tried to do it before. So we won't worry about that. So we'll come off that. And that's it really. So I think I told you everything that you would need to know how to create a group. I think I've got all the basic stuff. And then obviously when you are promoting for your group, what I do is, in fact, I'll just show you my type form I created for it. Type form. I've got one in Bitly. I've also got a Bitly link, but don't worry about that just yet. Bitly links just make it a tidier link, but it still goes to the same type form. And let's have a little look. 3 days. So 3 people have responded overnight, so I obviously need to get in there and have a look, see what they've said. But this is my type form. So the great thing with type form is you can make them look really pretty. In fact, I wanted to record a video to add into the top of it as a welcoming video, which I've not done yet. But this is where I'll just move myself out of the way again. This is where my video would go. So if I wanted to change that, I would just go up here and go into the builder mode, and I'd add a video section there. But I'm not going to worry about that now because this isn't part and parcel of this. So I created this very short short application form. So I've got a really good idea of what their challenges are and what their struggles are. When they press start, they fill in the questions, and then they press submit, and it will come through automatically to my email. And then I've obviously got a really good idea of what what they need to achieve. So this link, I would go into create my form, and then go into share, and that will give me the link that I would then want to include in my social media posts. So if I'm on Instagram, you can't use a link with the www or the HTTPS in front of it. So what I would do with that is I would either ask them to drop an emoji and then you private message them the link, or I would add it into my link tree, which I'll show you in a second. It's gone to my Instagram, and again, I won't go into Linktree in any great detail right now, but it's an area where you can have several different links. So because with Instagram you're only allowed the one link, Linktree enables you to have several. So you see my Linktree link here, I'll click that, and then it will show you all of my links that I've got active at the moment. And so obviously, because this is the latest group, that's at the top. So what I would suggest to people, if it's on Instagram, I'd say click the link in my bio and choose the Self-Love Optimal Health Group application form. and at least that way it gives them an option to fill in the application form. If you're using drop me an emoji to show your interest, everybody who drops an emoji or even likes or comments on that particular post, I would also send them a short message with the link to this application form. On Facebook, you can include links. It tends to be better if you include the link in the comments at the bottom. I think the algorithm doesn't like it if you include links within the main body of the text of the post that you're writing. So if you're not scheduling it, if you're going to write it and post it, include the link in the comments. If it's one of those that you're going to have to schedule and you're not going to be available within the next sort of few minutes after it's been published, to add your comment at the top of the comments, then because obviously you're referring to the link, so click the link in the comments below. If you've not commented and there's no link, then people aren't going to know what to do. So either put the link in the body if you're going to schedule the post, or post it and then add the link in the comments underneath, which is the best way of doing it. So anything, if any of that is unclear, then obviously let me know, and I will help clarify that with you. So I'll stop sharing my screen, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not rocket science. I remember when I was creating my first Facebook group, it took me quite a while to work out how I do it and what the heck do I do. I do tend to keep my previous groups available. I don't delete them or archive them, because like right now I can use a lot of the information that I used in my clean eating group that I did last time and pull it across to my self-love group. And then obviously all my self-love stuff will be separate posts in the afternoon. So I've got to get to grips and write my content and prepare my content for that. So, but it just shows you how you can go about getting your group set up, and then obviously just making sure that you create a fantastic customer experience when you're in the group. And yeah, try and run one a month. But if you're a coach on my team, you know that we can all run the same groups together. You are welcome to invite into the free group that we run as a team every month. If you want to run your own groups, that's fine. But if you're sort of getting your feet under the table, I would focus more on the vital behaviors. Let the running of the group rest on my shoulders until you've got your feet under the table, until you feel that you want to be, responding as an admin in that group too. But as soon as you're ready, it would be fantastic, because the more coaches that post in these groups, you get different flavors, get different ages, and they can become a really, really good fun community of people. So. Right, I'm going to stop my babbling. I hope that it's all sort of made sense, and any questions, ask.